Hi there, and welcome to this bonus episode of the Gazette's Hockey Inside Out show. I'm Stu Cowan of the Gazette, and I'm joined by former Canadiens teammates and 1986 Stanley Cup champs, Rick Green and Brian Skrudland, who's filling in for Chris Nyland this week. Rick, Canadiens are in a good position. It looks like they're going to make the playoffs for the second straight season. If they do they have enough this year to not only make the playoffs, but win a series or two?
I believe that if they're going to continue to get the goaltending that they've had as of late, they have a real good opportunity to obviously get in and even advance. And those guys know, and everybody knows, if you can get some real good stability and some outstanding goaltending, you have a chance to make a mark. And we see it with the run as of late when they do get their goaltending. The timely saves, all those things that go to how important a goalie can make your team play and allow you a chance to advance. They're getting it. Why not continue with it? And if they do, they're going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, goaltending is always a key, Brian, going into the playoffs. Habs have 25 games left to figure out their goaltending situation. But what do you think? Is this a team that can win a series or two?
Oh, I sure do. It all starts in the back, you guys. You know that how good Patrick was back in our day, Greeny, and you don't see very often today where that young goaltender gets a chance to ride the storm and like Patrick did. And I see a lot of young goaltenders today that I thought that more teams should be giving them opportunities to do that. However, that really hasn't been the case. But both of these guys lately have been earning their pay. And I think just doing the simple things, playing a much better game, whether that has to do with the goaltending coaching change, but they seem to be coming at it with more of a happier outlook on just playing the game and competing. So hopefully that continues, and if we can continue to put up the numbers we have offensively, I think there's a great opportunity to get deep.
Well, last year, Rick, they faced the Capitals in the first round, a big physical team with Tom Wilson. They had problems dealing with that. How can they deal with that this year moving forward? And just how important of a role Arbor Jacki, a guy who's been in and out of the lineup, I think he's a guy they're going to need once they get into the playoffs.
Well, some of those guys that experience playoffs hockey for the first time are going to chalk that up as a positive. And they're going to understand that it is a completely different season once the playoffs start. The referees usually put their whistles away, and there's an awful lot of hacking and chopping, like Screwy knows very well. The hacking and chopping game is a big part of it. And, it's what it is. The guys hopefully have learned that they got to crank it up another couple notches, but be ready for a much more physical game, much more battling game, and you've got to weather the storm because there's going to be a lot of teams that will be coming at you. Defensemen, get ready because they're not going to swing by the check. They're going to make you pay, and they got some guys back there that are mobile and smart enough to realize that when the situation is getting tough, keep it simple. And, take care of their defensive responsibilities first.
Brian, when you guys won the Cup together in '86, you were a young team back then. What was your confidence level as a team going into the playoffs that year?
It was incredible. We had good goaltending. We had veteran leadership like no other, guys who'd won 5-6 Stanley Cups. We really believed, and I think that message came right from Serge before the playoffs started. We had a team meeting out in wherever the heck they took us. And it was really, everybody believed. We had such confidence. And of course, we'd won the Calder Cup the year before, probably 7 or 8 of us rookies together with Patrick Stefan, Mike Lawler. So that gave us a little bit of confidence and just believing in one another. We had a real strong belief that we could play against anybody. So the Kirby Docs, of the world that might have to step out of the box and step into somebody. He's a big guy, and just go over and above what you usually do. But that's the compete level each and every one of those guys is going to have to bring come playoff time.
Rick, you were a veteran on that team. What was your confidence level going in with so many young kids on it?
Again, I've harped on it before, but we knew that given the opportunity for Patrick to see the puck, he was going to make the save. We were very, very disciplined in our zone when it came down to responsibilities when we didn't have the puck, and making sure, because we had some big guys there on defense, and we could play any kind of game, but we did a lot of winning of one-on-one battles, and we did a lot of things in front of Patrick that allowed him to make the big save, and we take care of the rest. So we just had a good mix of guys that knew what they needed to do each and every game. I mean, we used to go in, even if we were down, after a period, we'd look around the room and go, we're down, but we're not out, because somebody in that group was going to find a way to get the job done. And those type of feelings, until you experience, are special, and we had a special group.
Brian, if you were
and the favorite saying by Lappy, don't be the goaler. And today they're all goalers. Like, man, the commitment and sacrifice these guys make, sometimes it's like, get the hell out of the way, right? Let the goalie see the puck. But they're all trying to make that save today.
Sorry, you forgot. Don't trust the forward. Maybe you didn't listen. Maybe you didn't listen to him. But actually, in all fairness, we could trust, because we had some good centermen that back in the day they were helping us out big time. So yeah, some good group.
Brian, if you were a team going up against the Canadiens in the first round of the playoffs, what would you be most worried about facing them?
Well, as we did against any team that had a mobile defense, when we never, ever, ever skated by that fella. So Lane Hudson, Mike Matheson, get ready, because your opposition is going to be finishing you at every opportunity. And that's not to say that hasn't been the theory all season long. I mean, these guys are so mobile and agile that they're hard to hit. So hopefully that continues to be the case, because we all know come playoff, it is a different season. And where you weren't allowed to maybe have a little clutch and grab, well, that's allowed to a certain degree. And as long as our guys continue to be mobile, move that puck, I think we're going to have some really good success.
What would concern you, Rick, if you were coaching against the Canadiens with the team they have in the playoffs?
Well, I just would say, they're key guys that are playing big minutes. You make them pay physically. I mean, I remember the Boston series. It was like, put it in Ray Bork's corner and somebody take a piece out of him over and over and over again to wear him down to the point where he was like going, I'm tired by the time the series, move forward. So I think that you have to consider making life difficult for a Cole Caulfield if you're able to catch him. Make it tough on him, that you're up against a big body. You better be aware that I'm coming at you. So you make things really difficult for those skilled guys that want to have the time and space, and the opposition are going to make life a little bit more miserable, and you're going to have to find a way to fight through that in order for you to have the same success that you had during the regular season.
Well, we saw Washington do that against the Canadiens last season in the playoffs, and it worked. But as you mentioned, Brian, I think they have the experience now. These young guys, they've been through it, so they have a better idea of what's coming. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the Canadiens win at least one series this year in the playoffs if they get the goaltending. Anyway, that's it for this Hockey Inside Out Show bonus episode. We'll have one more bonus episode coming up over the next few days with Rick and Brian, so you can look for that. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the Hockey Inside Out YouTube channel. And in case you didn't already know, Hockey Inside Out is now available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.